You doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Everybody, this is the Silverback, Willis Black, right here on another round of live interviews for Warrior Wednesday, this time Warrior Wednesday 7. Good to have you back, Willis. Of course, your last fight didn't last very long. You made very short work of Mr. Edwards.
Yep. Thank you. It's good to be back, Jim.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, you fought Justin Edwards in your last fight, a guy who had been on the Ultimate Fighter twice, a guy who had fought in the UFC several times over. You take him on in your first title defense, and 47 seconds. That's all it took for you to defeat him. Is that what you expected against a veteran like that?
No, I kind of just expected anything. I think I game plan pretty well on him, and I kind of expected him to try and blitz and press me into the cage. And I kept thinking, straight left, just keep it straight left on him. If he try and blitz, slip straight left. So that was kind of the game plan for him, and for each opponent, different game plan, just, kind of filtered to that particular opponent. But I have to have a game plan prepared to go beyond that, because that just so happened to pan out that way, and it was over in 47 seconds. But, I know that sometimes these fights can get drug along.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I probably have watched it back 5 or 6 times now just to see everything in the complete picture. You kind of hit him with that first shot, and it kind of was grazing you, but you could tell he felt it. You could tell that, he felt your power. He then tried to come in, and I think that's when you hit him with that uppercut. And I think that's when you dropped him the first time. And I think he threw up I think he was a little dazed. He kind of threw up a half a daisical triangle. You easily kind of swatted that, let him stand up, bonked him a couple more times before it went down to the ground again. Did you think that should have been stopped sooner? Because, I mean, you were hitting him some hard hammer fist, and you could tell, it wasn't going to change the effect on him. Did you think it should have been stopped a little sooner?
Well, I mean, I think that I could have saved him about six extra punches, but in all fairness, in the fight before, I had someone that was arguing that it was stopped too early until the video was played back, and you could clearly see him drop. But sometimes, the referees are gonna catch slack in any direction. Either you stopped it too early or you stopped it too late. And it's never just really a perfect moment, and but that's what they get paid to do. So. I didn't really complain.
Right, and obviously you were able to get the victory. That's now 4 in a row for you. All 4 of them finishes as well. Talk me through what's been different here these last 4 fights.
A lot's been different. I mean, I just kind of I changed my outlook on what it is that I'm doing this for. After taking those back-to-back losses back in 2000, what was that, 2017?
Mm-hmm.
I think that everybody can see a clear difference in my technique and in like my physical stature. So the biggest difference is I'm training a lot differently. I gave up my job. I don't work full time. I don't work this is my full-time job. So I put hours of my day into this. This is my craft. This is how I feed my family. So. That's the difference. The difference is I'm not just a fighter anymore. Like I like this is the lifestyle. Like, I'm not just I fight for fun or anything like that. Like, this is my life. So now in my last couple of camps I've been coming to Miami for training, and I'm training with some beasts down here, some like Hall of Fame type guys, and and I think that that's really pushing me to another level because. I'm with guys that that I can't just beat up in the gym. I'm with
Right.
guys that's beating me up in the gym, and I'm getting better and I'm improving from it. And I can see the improvements that I'm making because these same guys that was beating me up the first time I came. I'm able to like hang with them now and even beat some of them up. So
Right. So you're gonna name drop here? You're gonna be humble? Who you've been training with?
well, I tell you what, this camp, I did get some sparring rounds in at Hard Knocks, and I had somebody piece me up real good. Vitor Belfort
Mm.
pieced me up real good in the gym, and I just was and like no disrespect to him, but Vitor is not as athletic as me. He's not as fast as me, but he was able to pick me apart pretty good, and I learned so much from just sparring with him. Like I watched his movements and like what he kept catching me with, and I'm like, man, I have to adjust this, I have to change this. Well, I can use that. Like he
Right.
used it on me, I can use that on somebody else. And like, man, like that's gains for me. That's gains all the way. And as well, like I've been training at Fight Sports with RTA Cyborg.
Sure.
I've been going to his classes, and man, like these are like all black belts, all monsters. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not out muscling nobody or
Right.
anything. Like these guys are nasty. Like I have a coach back in Michigan. He's a black belt. Chris is like a whole lot of Chris Simpsons. Fucking tapping people out. Like I was rolling with these guys, and it was so hard to pass their guard. And I was like, why is it so hard to pass these guys' guard?
Right.
But it's all a learning process. And I was able to gain from that. I was gaining from that, and you can see the improvements. I'm able to pass their guards now, control position, and like I'm rolling with like 90% of the gym is black belts. It's
Right.
crazy. It's crazy.
Right, absolutely. Well, that's pretty awesome. Obviously, I think anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of Vitor Belfort. So it's incredible. Like he's now what, in his 40s, and he's still able to you know what I mean? He's still able to move like that.
Yeah. Yes.
It's crazy that this, the guy fought Tank Abbott how many years ago? So that's pretty awesome. And obviously Henry Hooft is an excellent coach. Down there running the team. Formerly, that was the Black Zillions, kind of turned into the Hard Knocks team down there in Florida. But he had to be able to pick his brain a lot, right? Because he's obviously the Dutch kickboxing master over there.
Yeah. Every time I get a chance to, I'm always in these guys' face, always in their ear, asking questions, trying to figure out what I can do to make myself better. And then even when we do like the live sparring or MMA or anything like that, like the guys that are like that's like maybe on the next level, because we got the one champion, we got one champions in there,
right?
UFC fighters, Bellator fighters, like we have the welterweight champion in the UFC right now, current welterweight champion in the UFC in there.
Right.
So like I'm always like trying to learn from these guys. I'm trying to find out, what are these guys doing that I need to do or mimic or maybe even try and do better. And I'm getting it. Like Jim, it's gonna be crazy because I'm understanding it. I'm understanding it to a different level, and I'm eager and excited to just see where I will be able to get to in my career. Like not just this next fight, and I'm not just like looking past Anthony, who I like, by the way. I like that guy. Like that guy, just everything about him, his personality. Like after this fight is over, I might even want to just be his friend. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna hit him up on Facebook, sending them Facebook friend requests, like have a play date for our kids and stuff. I got 3 of them, Anthony, so don't be scared when you see them. But I'm just excited to see where I go. I want to see Anthony do good. I want to see how far he can make it. I think we both deserve it. I think we both should have been in the contender series at minimum this last summer. But I think that the journey that God set us on led us to this moment, and I think that and no matter what, we're gonna take away from this experience and learn and gain a lot. So I'm excited about what the future holds, and I don't want it to be next Wednesday. I was hoping that it would just be tonight. Like we could be already out of the cage right now. Like it'd be done right now. We have everything written in the book. So. But, it is what it is. I'm going to come back home soon and finish off my camp strong. And then I'll be ready to go, go weigh in Tuesday and be ready to go Wednesday. So this is a huge moment for both of us, and I'm excited. I think this will be a testimony for both of us in where we've come so far in our career.
Absolutely. And now, of course, you had for this specific date, you wanted to fight on this date for a while. I know there was a couple of different opponents that were kind of cycling through. You were accepting of all of them, but they maybe didn't seem to be accepting. I won't call anyone's name out because, for whatever reason, they didn't take the fight against you. But Anthony Ivy did. He's the one that actually signed.
Exactly. Yeah.
So does that get you pumped? Like, okay, this guy actually does want to fight me.
Well, yeah, we're not gonna name drop anybody because they already know who they are. But they're not important at this point anymore anyways. What's important is that Anthony and I both have a huge headliner in front of us. We're going to gain plenty of exposure from this. We're on the best promotion in the U.S. Midwest. More than that, I think WXC has been doing a great job promoting their fighters, and just getting their name out there. We're on UFC Fight Pass, a huge broadcast that we can, that's around the world. So hopefully we both get a chance to be seen by many people, get some more follows on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and just get out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, win, lose, or draw. Like, let's get out there. Let's do what we came to do. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's nice that the two of us are colliding at this point. Like you said, everything is identical. I think that's what's most exciting for me, is that everything is identical. At the end of the fight, everything won't be identical. I mean, unless it's a draw. Like, that'd be just fucking crazy. That'd be crazy insane. But I think at me and his skill level, I don't believe that it will be a draw. I don't believe that it'll be a decision at all either. I think that all it takes is, one mistake on either side, whoever's going to make that first mistake. And I think that we both can capitalize. So I think that this will be like a first or second round type deal. Of course, train and prepare for a 5-round war, but I don't see it going that far just because of the skill level that both of us are approaching with.
Right, and plus the Lions already had a draw, so I don't think people can take another draw here in this area right now. But before this fight, though, kind of looking at last fight, now looking at this one, do you feel is there anything you really have to do differently here in this second title defense attempt?
Yeah, it's a few things that I have to do differently. I think that he's special in a few different ways, and the fact that I might have to adjust some things that I might have done that he would capitalize on that maybe my last opponent wasn't able to capitalize on. But as well, and I'm not going to give up game plan. You know me, Jim. Yes. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, I don't want to.
But as well, I've seen some loopholes that maybe he has, and I'm hoping to expose those tendencies that I've seen in every fight. Because 3 weeks is not a lot of time to like study your opponent, but it's a lot of time for me. This isn't my first rodeo. This isn't really a short notice fight.
Right.
I've taken fights before with like 3 days left before the fight, back in the Wild West days, this might call it, where I've taken fights on 3 days notice. So like, this is nothing new for me. Nothing about this is new for me. This will be my 4th main event as a professional. And as well, I've only fought in my hometown, so when I leave, that'll be something new for me when I finally do leave. But really, I've been with WXC my entire career, right. Amateur and pro. Like, right. For anybody who don't know that, like, I've been with WXC through and through, from the beginning and all the way down to this, and plan on being with them up through until I go to the UFC. So everything goes right, that's the plan. And I think I think that right now it's my fight to lose, just based off of those, like, not based off of just the fact like I'm better than him or anything like that, but just based off of those facts. I'm it's my fight to lose. I'm the hometown man. It's gonna be my crowd. Everybody's gonna probably be screaming for me. He probably, I'm hoping that my family is not ignorant enough to boo him. I hate stuff like that. But he'll probably just have maybe his corner and maybe a couple people there, family members that might have came out cheering for him. Hashtag no decision shirts everywhere, so it's my fight to lose, and my belt to lose. His belt is not on the line. It's the WXC championship. I don't want that to go back to Texas. That's this is kind of like I can't write this stuff in a book. Right. I cannot write this stuff in a book. We back to this. I'm fighting the toughest person that they can find in Texas, and the title is on the line, and a lot is on the line. And you think I'm about to just let that belt go back to Texas that easy? No, not after the first time. You remember my first title defense.
Right.
Not after the first time. And then that guy don't want to run it back with me either. So I don't want nothing like that happen. Right. I want to make sure that I get it right on the first try.
Right.
And there's no discrepancies. And if anybody want to run it back, you know, that I'm still the man to beat. So
Right. Absolutely.
that's where I'm at with it.
Speaking of belts, real quickly, Mike wants to know: are you happy that we'll finally have a new belt?
I'll be happy. I'll be happy. I'll be happy that we have a new belt as soon as I get it in my hand.
All right. Now, of course, anything you would like to say to Anthony before you step inside the WXC seal against him next week?
I'm gonna beat your ass when I see you, boy. What you saying? I'm just joking. No, honestly, you know, like I said, I really like this guy. I like this guy so much, man. I'm excited that he's my opponent out of everybody in the world. Because it's an honor. I mean, I think any fighter knows, like, it's an honor to compete against somebody, and you gain so much respect for a person. Whether you win or lose, you gain so much respect for a person after you face off against them. And after we're done, I don't drink beers, but maybe we can go have a cup of water after, and kick it, you know. But I like this guy a lot. I like his personality. I like how humble he is. I'm not a shit talker either, you know. And I know that you're not a shit talker, but we both shit walkers. So let's walk the walk.
Or at least an Arnold Palmer, right?
No, not
No,
even.
not
No
Arnold
juice.
Palmer.
No. Too intense for me.
All right. Of course, any thank you, shout out, sponsors, anything like that, Willis, you'd like to say here before we let you go?
Yes, I would like to thank Amber Merchant, Tony Black, Nico, who else? Jonesy, the original candy lady.com. Follow her on Instagram at the original candy lady, and on Facebook at the original candy lady. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Silverback Black. Don't forget Silverback Black.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Well, that's who he is right there. Willis Black, the Silverback, looking to make his second title defense 1 week from today. Willis, thanks again for chatting with you. You know I always do. And I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
All right.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
see ya. All right, everybody. Once again, that was Willis Black right here on Warrior Wednesday 7 Live Fighter Interviews.